Is that not a beautiful tree? And is this not a beautiful Christmas or other extended holiday event? So after the slight uneventfulness of last week, I think we could do with some Christmas cheer. What happened to it? It's to prevent a copyright strike. Oh. This isn't Christmassy or other extended holiday event. The one thing I can always count on. So on this not so festive day, here's what I've planned out to do this week. So what I'm thinking is improve the level and progression system. Right now the big problem with it is that it doesn't really exist. So the only real progression system is the one based on how many EXP orbs you've collected. If you go through the exploration complete screen, then you get that. And then eventually, if you get enough, you'll level up. I'm sure you've all seen that procedure before. One of the things that I think is missing is I'd like to tie a bit of progression to actually finding things in the overworld as well. So say I was to do something like walk into the desert here, it would get a big pop-up that says, desert found. And depending on how many times you found the desert, you would get levels accordingly. And what I'm thinking of doing is having some sort of system where the player's sort of experience of finding that place is sort of kept in a waiting area until they actually go through the gateway. Because that would then prevent you from like being reckless during the gameplay and still getting the rewards as a result. So if you were to go into the desert, it would just count to say you found it, and then it's only when you find the gateway that you can actually receive the reward for that. And what I'd like to do in this exploration complete screen is just make it a bit more interesting so you can see all the different things you find. Remember, the 3 words for this game: quick, flashy, lots. So flashy is going to be a big part of this exploration complete screen. I want to have, for the average gameplay session, quite a few of these different progress bars that go up and say level up every few times. And especially when you come to have rare biomes, like extremely rare biomes in the game that you'd only find once every 100 gameplay sessions or something like that. I kind of want it to be very rewarding for the player when they do find those things. So it's kind of like that experiment where the mouse presses the lever. Except, of course, in my beautiful audience, and I don't see you as lab rats as part of an experiment. It's just a turn of phrase. So, let's have a look at the redo of this pop-up that I'll be doing. So the idea is important regions, there's going to be a little bit of fanfare when you actually go and visit them. So in this case, something like the desert, which you can see over there, has that pop-up. A problem it has is when it fades out now, it's going to go black for a sec. That's to do with it not properly processing opacity. So yeah, in that case, it kind of looks like that. That's meant to be an underline, but at the moment it looks a bit like a progress bar. I mean, it's better than it was, it's just, it still could be better. Something tells me this won't work. So actually, I'm fairly sure I know what it is now. There's actually a shadow behind the text. Like, there's another label behind it that gives it that sort of, I guess, shadowy sort of look. So you can just about see the black outline. So I think that's not being changed as a result of me changing the fade out here. Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Let's see. Oh. Okay, that actually worked. Oh, isn't it incredible when something goes right? There you go, the problem's been fixed. Dreams do come true. So I'm kind of just trying to work on a system that tells the player how progressed they are at actually discovering a certain area. So we find somewhere like this, and it has a level, and then it informs you how complete it is, and then it goes away. It is quite a work in progress at the moment, but it just switched to 3 out of 4. So then the thing is, if we explore again and find the cherry blossom biome, oh my god, it says -1. Okay, it's not meant to do that. I thought that was going to be like a great reveal of my amazing programming skills. Oh well, I'll deal with that tomorrow. It's kind of experimental, so one of the things is that there's sort of a 2-tier system to the health bar, or what was the health bar. So you see how it goes yellow. If you get another bit, you see it goes up there. So the idea is it's trying to show you, the yellow bit specifically, what you'll get if you're successful with this exploration. This is the sort of thing I'm going to be absolutely sure to play test. Right now it's 2 AM, so I'm going to bed. I'm working on trying to improve some of the readability of the user interface, and it's been a bit of a nightmare. So essentially I'm looking at trying to get the text to be blended sort of opposite to what it is at the moment. So something like this in Photoshop. Because actually if you look at the way it's being blended, it's just doing a difference filter. So you look at the 2 and then look at the 4. So you see how they're very different compared to their background. Maybe I'm just stupid, but I've struggled to get it to work. The issue is that it's not taking alpha into consideration. And this is why you get those boxes. And I'm kind of saying to it here, like, can you do different things with alpha? But I don't know, it doesn't seem to want to do that. So I'm thinking there must be a combination of these values that will do it, but there's just nothing on the internet about it. Maybe I'll ask ChatGPT. Actually, that's probably a good idea. GL blend funk, GL 1 minus desk color. The reason I don't want to do it in shader is I'm not convinced I actually have access to the background texture. Okay, so ChatGPT thinks it should be source blend 1 minus desk color. It seems to think I can just pass the background color in as a uniform. I might see if there's another way around this, because this looks like it's going to be tricky.
I compromised.
Yeah, that is kind of visible. But it's not what I wanted. Well, there's an entire morning gone. I say morning, it's 4 o'clock. Like, what have I actually got done today? I don't think I've got anything done. Well, I have. I mean, I've failed at something, and that is valuable life experience, so... Right, I've been working on this for ages. I basically filmed nothing yesterday because I spent the entire time banging my head against the wall. Essentially, what all of this stuff is just the logic for the progress bar. So let me show you. So this is how the level system works, in that the first time you find it, it's 1 level. To progress to level 2, only takes you finding that 1. And then to progress to level 3, you have to find it a second time and a third time. And then the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th time depend on these specific levels here. So it's growing in powers. So say I was to have found that biome 9 times, I'd be on level 4. And if I was to have found it 14 times, I would still be on level 4. You'd have to get this high in order to get to level 5. So it's growing exponentially, and that's kind of the point. So in the save file, the only thing I write is how many times you've actually found the biome. So see, you found 6 times. So if I was to set this to 0 and then play the game. If I was to go and find the desert, so you see the bar would fill all the way up once I found it the first time. So that's equivalent to a level. You ready? But it starts off at 1 and then heads all the way up to 2. So of course there is a bit of risk and reward in that if I was just to die now, then I wouldn't actually receive that increase in level. And let's test that. So if health is 0 and I explore again, then when I find the desert this time, I should... Yeah, there we go. So I didn't claim the yellow bit of this bar before. I only claim it when I go into the gateway. But I mean, part of the issue is this took me like a day to get all these like bug fixes and stuff done properly. It wasn't a simple job, and some of this stuff like the variables need to be renamed. But at least it's tested and the logic is there. Like I didn't hack it in, so yeah. Let's do the logic in the exploration completed screen. Afternoon. So I've essentially, I think, largely finished the level up system. So if I was to go over to the desert over here, and I get discovered desert, and it goes up in a level. So what it's saying is that if I was to complete the exploration, then I would reach 6 out of 8. If I was to die now, then I don't get any of those levels, and I'd have to go back in and then find that thing again to get back there. Now, if I did succeed and went home, what I've now got is the level up procedure in this screen. So exploration complete, and then it tracks which of these things you get, and then you sort of actually claim the items in this bit of the screen, right? So these are the main 3 regions. Then I will get 3 progress bars that behave in that way. Again, the thing with the user interface is that I'll clean them up later, but my kind of ethos with a lot of this stuff is if it's not fun when it's in like its non-glorified, interesting looking version, then it won't be fun, you know, you can't polish the turd too much. So yeah, I think it's just the moment to moment in the overworld that I care about quite a lot. I feel like I haven't really got that much done this week in terms of actual content, but again, a lot of it was just spent making sure the thing actually worked. Oh no! And something crashed. Right, I figured out what the problem was. Actually, the test caught another legitimate bug. I got kind of unlucky because it doesn't happen every single time. Now the reason is, if you were to start gameplay up and you spawn into an important region, then what the test immediately does afterwards is discover every region in the map. So it turns out that combination of landing in a region and then calling discover all regions afterwards would give you the level for the region twice. So that's why it was breaking. So if we start up a test, there we go, that finds an important biome, it'll crash now. Okay, let's see if that fixes it. Okay, nice. I spawned in the right region. Oh, that's looking good. Am I a genius all along? Because I put in a simple if statement. Nice. Okay, I think that might be fixed. Would that be a good place to end this week's work? I don't know, but it's where I'm going to end it. Actually, this is how I'm going to end it.